The galaxy had always looked at Earth as a small, insignificant blue dot among countless stars. From a distance, humans seemed ordinary, almost predictable. Civilizations far older and far more advanced than Earth's often discussed the planet with a mixture of amusement and indifference. They watched as humans struggled with their own conflicts, wars, and limited technology, thinking there was no way such a fragile species could ever matter in the grand scheme of the universe. Yet, humans had a habit of surprising those who underestimated them. Life on Earth continued quietly, as it always had. Cities thrived with lights and movement, while oceans and forests carried on with their ancient rhythms. Humans went about their daily lives, unaware of the eyes from the stars that followed them. The alien observers were sure Earth was easy to predict. They thought they understood humans, their patterns, their weaknesses. What they didn't understand was how resilient and adaptable humanity could be when it faced challenges beyond imagination. On a clear night, astronomers and scientists around the world noticed unusual signals coming from deep space. They weren't powerful enough to be dangerous, but they were strange enough to warrant attention. Reports of unidentified fleets approaching. The edges of the solar system began to spread quietly among governments and defense organizations. While most people slept, thinking only of their daily routines, humanity was stirring with an alertness born from centuries of surviving the unexpected. Governments convened emergency meetings. Scientists, engineers, and military leaders gathered in secure rooms, their faces tense but determined. Everyone understood that if these reports were true, humanity was standing on the edge of a moment unlike anything in recorded history. The aliens approaching were not invaders yet. They were observers, testing the boundaries, checking Earth's responses. It was a subtle challenge, one that demanded careful thought and precise action. The alien fleets sent messages, not with open hostility, but with an air of superiority. Their tone was calm, almost casual, as if addressing a species they believed was incapable of real resistance. "We are watching," the message read. "Do not interfere." It was more a warning than a threat, yet it carried the weight of centuries of experience and unmatched power. To the alien council, this was a simple demonstration of control. To humans, it was the first sign that the galaxy had underestimated them and that miscalculation would prove costly. Human leaders, instead of panicking, gathered their advisors in secure command centers. They studied the messages carefully, analyzing every word, every hidden meaning. They understood that a reaction driven by fear could escalate the situation. Strategy, precision, and calm were their tools. Plans that had once been theoretical were now reality. Humanity had quietly been preparing for scenarios exactly like this, without letting the rest of the world know. From secret research labs to hidden defense programs, humans had developed technologies that could rival many of the galaxy's more advanced civilizations. In laboratories deep beneath the surface, teams of engineers and scientists worked tirelessly. They calibrated energy shields, programmed defense drones, and tested experimental weapon systems. Each project was built not for war, but for survival and deterrence. Humans had learned long ago that power displayed wisely could be more effective than power used recklessly. They had no desire to destroy, only to ensure their home was never treated as insignificant again. Military strategists studied alien patterns, learning how fleets moved, how signals were sent, and how communications could be intercepted. The galaxy's observers thought humans were predictable, but humans thrived on adaptability. They could take incomplete information, make sense of it, and act in ways that no one expected. This was the core of humanity's strength. Where other species relied on rigid systems and long-established rules, humans could improvise, adapt, and overcome. Meanwhile, ordinary people went on with life, unaware that their planet was under watch. Children played in parks, families gathered for meals, workers walked the streets of bustling cities, and travelers explored distant corners of the earth. Yet every action, every decision humans made, contributed unknowingly to the resilience of the species. It was this daily life, this ordinary courage, that formed the foundation of a civilization capable of standing against the galaxy itself. As days passed, the alien fleets drew closer, sending small ships to scan and observe. Their actions were deliberate, but measured. They wanted to gauge Earth's capabilities, to see how humans would respond. They expected hesitance, mistakes, and confusion. They expected fear, but humans did not act rashly. Instead, global leaders coordinated quietly, sharing information, creating contingency plans, and readying defenses in secret. The calm unity surprised even the most cynical observers. The Alien Council debated. "They are insignificant," one voice said. "No threat to us." Another argued, "They have no advanced technology. They cannot resist." And yet, despite the confidence in their assessments, a subtle unease began to creep in. Humans were not reacting as expected. They were neither panicked nor aggressive. They were prepared, and their preparation suggested intelligence, ingenuity, and determination qualities the Council had once dismissed. Scientists on Earth noticed strange anomalies in alien communication patterns. Signals were being sent in ways that suggested caution, almost curiosity. Humans realized the aliens were testing them, trying to understand the limits of human capability. And this realization sparked a quiet determination among the people working behind the scenes. Humanity would not allow itself to be underestimated. Not now, not ever. In hidden command centers, engineers activated early warning systems, ensuring that no ship, no signal, and no anomaly went unnoticed. Satellites scanned the skies continuously, while AI systems monitored communication channels for patterns invisible to the human eye. Every day, humans learned more about the fleets approaching, more about the strategies the galaxy used, and more about their own ability to respond. The first signs of tension became visible when the alien fleet moved slightly closer to Mars. Sensors picked up shifts in trajectory and energy emissions from their ships. These movements were subtle, almost imperceptible to casual observers. To the humans watching, they were signals. The aliens were testing, probing, seeing if Earth would react. And humanity did react, but not with anger or fear. They reacted with preparation, strategy, and intelligence. Leaders convened again, this time to make a historic decision. They agreed not to provoke the aliens, but to demonstrate capability if necessary. The plan was not to attack, not to show aggression, but to reveal a glimpse of the power humans had quietly nurtured over decades. It was a delicate balance enough to earn respect, but not so much that it would trigger immediate retaliation. In the following days, humans carried out covert operations to analyze alien fleet movements. Using advanced sensors, satellites, and deep space probes, they mapped the fleet's patterns with precision. Every decision was deliberate, every action calculated. The world was on edge, yet life went on, and the quiet courage of ordinary people, engineers, scientists, soldiers, and civilians kept the machinery of survival running. For the aliens, the first signs of unexpected capability began to surface. Their sensors detected anomalies they could not explain, data that suggested humans were more organized, more advanced, and more unpredictable than they had believed. Confidence wavered. Where once they had seen a simple planet of fragile life, they now saw something entirely different, a species capable of surprising even the galaxy itself. By the end of the first phase of observation, humans had made a silent statement. They had not attacked. They had not provoked. But they had prepared, learned, and demonstrated through action that Earth was not a planet to be underestimated. Across the globe, teams celebrated quietly, knowing that history was unfolding. A small blue planet had drawn the attention of the galaxy, and it was ready to show its worth dot as night fell over cities, oceans, and deserts. Humans looked up at the stars, unaware that eyes from countless light years away were watching them in disbelief. The galaxy had crossed the line in underestimating humanity, and humanity, in turn, had quietly prepared to reveal that their strength was far greater than anyone could imagine. The quiet observation had ended. The galaxy would soon learn that Earth was a planet that, when challenged, could rise with unmatched courage, ingenuity, and unity. Humans had always survived, often against impossible odds. This time, the stakes were greater, but so was their resolve. Ordinary people, going about ordinary lives, were now part of an extraordinary moment in history, a moment where the galaxy would discover that humans were never to be underestimated. And as the first night of vigilance ended, a sense of quiet determination filled the hearts of those preparing for what was to come. Humanity was ready. The day the alien message arrived, the world paused. Not because ordinary people understood what it meant, but because leaders, scientists, and military strategists realized the scale of what was happening. The message itself was brief, almost casual in wording, but the meaning behind it was clear. It was a warning, a quiet but unmistakable signal that the galaxy had noticed Earth, and that it assumed the planet had no real power to resist. Governments convened immediately. Meetings were held in underground command centers, secure facilities, and digital war rooms that connected leaders from every continent. The mood was tense but controlled. Panic, they knew, was the enemy of strategy. Every word of the alien communication was analyzed. Linguists studied the tone, codebreakers searched for hidden meanings, and military experts mapped possible threats. The message implied that the aliens could strike at will, and that Earth should comply or face consequences. But humanity's response was not fear. It was determination. Across the globe, scientists and engineers accelerated their secret programs. Drones, satellites, defense grids, and advanced energy technologies developed quietly over decades were tested and prepared. Even in ordinary laboratories and research centers, there was a new urgency. Every engineer, every physicist, every military strategist understood that the survival of their species could hinge on precision. Intelligence and adaptability dotted first. The aliens assumed that humans would panic, that governments would argue, and that the planet would descend into chaos. They were wrong. In the first 24 hours after the message, Earth's leaders established a global council for unified action. This council was unprecedented. Political differences, cultural rivalries, and economic tensions were set aside in the face of a challenge none had faced before. Humanity was uniting, not out of convenience, but out of necessity. The council quickly decided that the first step would be observation and understanding. Attacking first, they agreed, could invite destruction. Instead, humans would study the alien fleets, analyze their movements, and prepare for any scenario. Earth had spent years developing intelligence networks, communication encryption, and early warning systems. Now, all of these quietly hidden capabilities were put into action. Satellites scanned the skies relentlessly. Deep space probes monitored approaching vessels. AI systems analyzed every signal for patterns invisible to human eyes. For the aliens, the early responses from Earth were confusing. Their scouts detected unusual coordination, efficient communication, and calm analysis. They expected fear, hesitation, and chaos. Instead, humans were organized, adaptive, and surprisingly confident. The galaxy's observers began to report this to their councils. This species is unusual, one advisor said. They are preparing, yet they show no fear. They are unpredictable in ways we cannot calculate. Meanwhile, humanity began small, subtle actions to test the aliens' intentions without provocation. Satellites were used to intercept minor signals, mapping communication patterns. Drones observed alien movements at a safe distance, while scientists used simulations to predict possible strategies. Every action was measured, every decision intentional. Humans were showing that they were not passive observers, but they were careful not to cross a line that could trigger aggression. During this time, news of unusual space activity began to leak in small, controlled amounts to the public. Media outlets reported sightings of unidentified objects and strange signals, but without panic. People were curious and concerned, but humanity's leaders used the opportunity to instill calm, emphasizing scientific inquiry and preparation. This approach ensured that ordinary life could continue even while extraordinary events unfolded in the shadows. The alien message had a subtle taunt embedded in it. "We are watching. Do not interfere." The wording suggested superiority, almost mocking humanity's ability to respond. The alien council believed it would provoke fear or hasty action. Yet humans understood that a measured response would be far more effective. They had been preparing for this moment for decades, quietly nurturing technologies and strategies that could challenge assumptions about the planet's capabilities. Earth's response was strategic. Teams of scientists calculated the precise ways humans could reveal capability without appearing aggressive. Military strategists worked on hypothetical scenarios, testing reactions in simulations. Drones were programmed for reconnaissance, not attack. Satellites were used to map fleet positions, energy signatures, and communication channels. Every action was designed to gather intelligence, demonstrate readiness, and protect the planet. While avoiding the risk of unnecessary escalation, some humans working in secret facilities understood the stakes better than anyone. Engineers monitored experimental energy shields, ensuring they could activate instantly if needed. Teams programmed eye defense drones to respond autonomously, analyzing threats faster than any human mind could. And scientists in laboratories ran simulations to predict every possible move the alien fleets might make. The quiet hum of machinery, the glow of computer screens, and the constant exchange of data created an invisible defense network that stretched across Earth and into space. The first challenge came when alien scouting ships moved slightly closer to Earth. Their approach was deliberate but non-threatening. They wanted to test boundaries, seeing if humans would react impulsively. Sensors on Earth detected the ship's trajectories and energy signatures, feeding information into global command centers. Humans monitored every signal, every pulse of energy, every change in movement. It was a delicate dance. One wrong step could provoke retaliation. But humans were not naive. They were prepared. During this period, the alien observers began to notice something unsettling. Humans were not predictable. Their decisions were not rigidly programmed or driven by instinct alone. They adapted to new information quickly, coordinated across continents, and displayed creativity in their problem-solving. Reports reached the Alien Council. They are learning faster than expected. Their coordination is beyond simple communication patterns. They are unpredictable. This word, unpredictable, was enough to cause concern among the oldest and most experienced members of the Galaxy Dot at the same time. Earth's Global Council worked tirelessly to establish contingency plans. Meetings lasted for hours, often late into the night. Maps of space were spread across tables. Holographic projections displayed fleet movements, and simulations of potential alien actions ran continuously on advanced computers. Every possibility was considered: diplomacy, containment, defense, and if necessary, retaliation. Humanity prepared not out of aggression, but out of survival instinct, a quiet determination that no threat could shake. Ordinary people, while unaware of the full scope of what was happening, also played their part. Astronomers reported anomalies, Engineers monitored satellites, and citizens contributed indirectly by maintaining the infrastructure that kept the world running. Hospitals, communication networks, and energy grids continued to function smoothly, ensuring that society remained resilient. Every ordinary action became part of a larger strategy to protect the planet. Meanwhile, discussions at the Alien Council became tense. Advisors debated how to interpret human behavior. Some suggested that humans were bluffing, that their advanced coordination was merely luck. Others argued that Earth's response indicated hidden capabilities far beyond what was visible. Fear, curiosity, and doubt began to mix in equal measure. The aliens had expected easy dominance, yet humans refused to follow the script the galaxy had written for them. The humans working in command centers understood this shift. They knew that every observation, every signal, and every calculated move was teaching the aliens something important. Earth could not be underestimated. The quiet confidence of humanity became a subtle weapon. By showing competence without aggression, humans were sending a clear message. They would defend their planet, their way of life, and their freedom. But they would do so on their own terms. In the following days, humanity continued to gather information. Drones were sent further into space, observing alien fleets from a distance. Satellites picked up data on energy emissions, propulsion methods, and communication patterns. Scientists and engineers worked together to create simulations that could predict alien strategies. The Global Council reviewed these findings daily, adjusting contingency plans and refining defensive protocols. Every step humanity took was precise and measured. There was no reckless bravado, no unnecessary provocation. Yet, with every action, humans revealed more than the aliens expected. They demonstrated intelligence, unity, and creativity. They revealed the capacity to adapt, improvise, and coordinate on a scale the galaxy had never seen from a single small planet. As the first week of observation ended, Earth had made its first silent but powerful statement. Humanity was not a species to be ignored. The aliens' confidence wavered. Reports circulated among the galaxy that humans were capable of strategies that defied prediction. Some alien factions were intrigued, seeing potential for collaboration. Others were wary, realizing that underestimating Earth could be a mistake with consequences they could not foresee. Ordinary life on Earth continued. Children went to school, families gathered for meals, and workers went about their routines. Yet beneath this ordinary surface, human. After days of careful observation, calculations, and silent preparation, humanity was ready to take its first real step in revealing strength. The alien fleets had moved closer, probing, testing, sending signals that were part warning, part curiosity. Earth's response so far had been purely defensive, purely observational, and purely calculated. But now, humans were ready for the first demonstration, a show of capability that would announce to the galaxy Earth could defend itself, and it was not to be underestimated. The plan was precise. Humans did not intend to attack. There was no desire to destroy or dominate. The goal was simple: to show that Earth had tools, technologies, and strategies that could neutralize threats without unnecessary destruction. Engineers, scientists, and military strategists had worked for years on this kind of moment, and now it had arrived. The first targets would be alien surveillance ships, small, non-threatening vessels that posed no immediate danger but carried the weight of observation. In hidden command centers across the globe, monitors flickered with live feeds of approaching fleets. Satellites tracked the movements of alien scouts, noting speed, energy emissions, and trajectories. AI systems ran simulations in real time, predicting the likely outcomes of any human action. Every calculation, every plan, every deployment was executed with precision. Humans understood the stakes. One misstep could provoke aggression. One mistake could cost lives. When the moment came, the action was swift and deliberate. Earth launched a series of drones equipped with electromagnetic pulse technology. These pulses were designed to temporarily disable the surveillance ship system's navigation, communication, and scanning without harming the crews or destroying the vessels. The drones moved like shadows, invisible at first, then striking with precision that reflected decades of preparation. The effect was immediate. Alien ships found their sensors flickering, their communications disrupted, and their navigation systems momentarily confused. There was no panic, no destruction, only a clear demonstration of capability. For the first time, the galaxy saw that humans had the power to influence events beyond their planet. And it was done with intelligence, not aggression. Back on Earth, scientists and engineers monitored the results with careful attention. Every drone, every pulse, every system response was recorded, analyzed, and learned from. Human technology was not just strong. It was adaptable. The drones adjusted in real time, responding to the alien ship's unexpected maneuvers. Humans had not only prepared for predicted outcomes, they had built systems capable of improvisation, of learning, of turning unpredictability into advantage. The aliens were stunned. Their council had assumed that Earth would panic, that humans would react with fear or chaos. Instead, they observed coordinated action, intelligence, and precision. Reports flooded in. They are capable of strategy. They adapt quickly. Their technology is advanced and integrated. They are unexpected. That single word, repeated in various forms throughout alien communication channels, carried a mixture of disbelief and caution. The alien fleets responded cautiously. They did not retreat, but they did not advance further. They sent messages again, this time more curious than threatening. Humans intercepted these communications, noting subtle changes in tone. The aliens were no longer certain of Earth's weakness. They were beginning to recognize that the planet could not be treated lightly. On Earth, leaders convened to review the results. There was no celebration. This was not a victory, but a test. The action had been deliberate, controlled, and non-lethal. Humanity had demonstrated capability, intelligence, and restraint, all in one measured move. Scientists updated simulations, military strategists adjusted contingency plans, and engineers refined drone technology. Every step was preparation for the next phase, which could come at any time. Ordinary life continued alongside these preparations. People went about their routines, school, work, travel, family gatherings, unaware of the quiet demonstration unfolding above their heads. Yet every ordinary action, every functioning system on Earth contributed to the larger plan. Power grids, communication networks, and transportation systems all supported the hidden infrastructure that made humanity's response possible. The strength of a planet, it seemed, relied not only on technology, but on the daily resilience of its people. The success of the first demonstration had another effect. It unified humanity further. Nations that had once been divided worked together seamlessly. Resources were shared, information was exchanged, and strategies were coordinated on a global scale. A sense of shared purpose, born from necessity, created a quiet pride. Humanity was learning, collectively, how to stand against forces it had never imagined facing. Meanwhile, the alien observers recalculated. Their previous assumptions that Earth was primitive, disorganized, and fragile were now clearly wrong. They debated among themselves. Some argued that humans were bluffing, that their technology was clever but limited. Others suggested that Earth had hidden capabilities far beyond what was visible. For the first time, fear and caution entered the deliberations of the alien council. They had underestimated the resilience, intelligence, and adaptability of humans. And that miscalculation had consequences. The aliens attempted to probe further, sending slightly larger ships closer to Earth. They tested defenses with subtle energy pulses and minor disruptions, expecting humans to falter. But humans were ready. Satellites tracked every movement, drones monitored energy fluctuations, and AI systems predicted possible actions. Humanity responded not with violence, but with calculated measures that preserved control while revealing strength. Every move was deliberate, every action a lesson for the galaxy. Earth was no longer passive. Back on the planet, teams worked tirelessly. Scientists monitored the environment to ensure that the drone's electromagnetic pulses caused no unintended harm. Engineers refined navigation systems to keep pace with alien maneuvers. Military strategists analyzed response times, energy output, and possible countermeasures. Humanity had learned that true strength was not in destruction, but in preparation, adaptability, and the ability to influence outcomes without unnecessary risk. The first phase of the demonstration also revealed the human advantage: unpredictability. Unlike alien civilizations that relied on rigid rules and centuries-old strategies, humans could improvise. They could adapt to new information, adjust in real time, and find creative solutions to unexpected problems. This flexibility was perhaps the most formidable weapon humanity possessed, and it was now on full display. For the alien fleets, the impact was psychological as well as strategic. They had assumed dominance, but humans were teaching them a new lesson. Technology alone was not enough. Coordination, creativity, adaptability, and unity could challenge even the most powerful civilizations. Reports circulated within alien councils. They are resourceful, capable of rapid adaptation, and coordinated in ways we cannot predict. We misjudged them. A subtle acknowledgement of underestimation carried weight. Meanwhile, humans continued to refine their technologies. Drones were updated to improve efficiency and responsiveness. Communication networks were strengthened to ensure real-time coordination across continents. Satellites tracked every ship, every pulse, every signal. Each day, humans learned more about the aliens, and the aliens learned more about humans. But unlike the galaxy, humans used this knowledge to prepare and protect, not to intimidate or dominate. Ordinary people remained unaware of the quiet struggle unfolding above them. Children played under open skies, workers moved through busy streets, and families gathered for meals. Life carried on, yet beneath the surface, humanity had demonstrated a level of intelligence, resilience, and foresight that the galaxy had never anticipated. Every functioning society, every cooperative action, contributed to the hidden defense of the planet. The aliens sent another message, this time acknowledging humanity's capability in a cautious tone. We observe your actions. Your capabilities are greater than expected. Proceed carefully. It was not an apology, nor was it a threat. It was recognition. The first demonstration had achieved its goal, to show that Earth was prepared, intelligent, and capable of protecting itself without aggression. Leaders on Earth knew that this was only the beginning. The first strike, though non-lethal, had set a precedent. It had shown strength, restraint, and intelligence. It had united humanity and altered the perception of the galaxy. Scientists continued to refine systems, engineers improved technologies, and strategists prepared for every possible response from the aliens. The lesson was clear. Preparation and adaptation could outmatch expectation and assumption. In the following days, the aliens continued to observe, no longer with casual arrogance, but with measured caution. Humans, in turn, continued their silent vigilance. Every satellite, every drone, every AI system remained active, monitoring, learning, and preparing for what might come next. Humanity's first action had been a warning, a test, and a revelation. It had shown that Earth was ready to defend itself intelligently and decisively, without unnecessary aggression. The quiet of ordinary life continued alongside this extraordinary display. People went to work, schools operated, and cities thrived. Yet the invisible machinery of humanity's defense hummed with activity. Engineers monitored drones, science. After the first demonstration, the galaxy began to notice Earth in ways it never had before. What had been assumed to be a fragile, insignificant planet now demanded attention. Alien fleets no longer moved casually near the solar system. Instead, they approached cautiously, sending signals that were filled with both curiosity and caution. They had begun to understand that humans were not predictable, and unpredictability was a dangerous trait in the eyes of civilizations. Used to rigid patterns and centuries-old rules, human leaders understood that this was their opportunity. The first demonstration had shown capability, but it had only hinted at what Earth could truly do. Scientists, engineers, and military strategists gathered in global command centers to decide how to proceed. The decision was not about attacking, nor about asserting dominance. It was about revealing, carefully, the hidden strengths humanity had nurtured for decades. The goal was simple. The galaxy had to understand that Earth was capable of defending itself, and that humans were clever, resourceful, and united. Preparation was meticulous. Satellites scanned every angle of space, while drones patrolled in patterns designed to observe without aggression. Secret labs ran simulations of hypothetical alien maneuvers, testing human responses under countless scenarios. Energy shields, which had been quietly developed for decades, were tested to ensure they could withstand potential attacks. Starships, mostly experimental and hidden from public view, were monitored and upgraded, capable of swift response and autonomous action. Humans were not only ready to defend themselves, they were ready to demonstrate intelligence, strategy, and innovation at a scale the galaxy had never imagined. The aliens, for their part, sent envoys, probes, and communication signals designed to gauge human responses. They expected fear, hesitation, or reckless aggression. Instead, humans responded with calm precision. Every probe was tracked, every signal analyzed, every movement countered with a quiet but effective action. Humanity had learned that restraint, paired with preparation, could be as powerful as force. The drones and satellites acted not out of aggression, but as a statement. Earth was ready, and it would protect itself intelligently. In a controlled sequence, humans decided to reveal their technologies to the galaxy. Virtual simulations were transmitted through secure communication channels, showing not only Earth's defensive capabilities, but also the coordination and intelligence of its people. Alien observers were shown simulations of drones moving in, coordinated patterns, energy shields activating and adapting to potential attacks, and autonomous starships responding faster than even human reaction times. Every detail was deliberate, designed to impress without threatening. The response from the galaxy was immediate. Analysts aboard alien ships began reporting their astonishment. Our technology is advanced, one message read. But it is. Their coordination, adaptability, and intelligence that is truly remarkable. They are unlike anything we have encountered. For centuries, the galaxy had assumed that power lay in size, age, and technological dominance. Humans, however, demonstrated that strength could also lie in ingenuity, adaptability, and the ability to learn quickly. Back on Earth, ordinary life continued as if nothing extraordinary had happened. People went about their routines, working, studying, socializing, and traveling. Children played in parks, unaware that humanity was now on the galactic stage. Yet beneath this ordinary surface, humans were performing extraordinary actions. Engineers monitored drones, scientists refined simulations, and military strategists coordinated plans across continents. The planet's strength was not only in technology, but in the unity and resilience of its people. As the demonstrations continued, humans introduced another layer of strategy. They showed the galaxy that Earth's power was not just in machines, but in coordination, intelligence, and decision-making. Simulations demonstrated the ability to predict and counter multiple potential threats simultaneously. Alien observers realized that humans did not rely solely on brute force. Instead, humans had created systems that learned, adapted, and acted independently while remaining connected to the larger human strategy. This combination of adaptability and unity was something the galaxy had not encountered before. In response, alien factions began to reconsider their assumptions. Some were wary, fearing that underestimating Earth could lead to unforeseen consequences. Others were intrigued, seeing potential for collaboration with a species that combined intelligence, resourcefulness, and resilience in ways unfamiliar to them. The galaxy's perception of humanity shifted rapidly from a minor, fragile species to one that commanded respect and attention. The Human Council knew that perception was as important as demonstration. They prepared communications to alien leaders that emphasized intelligence, strategy, and unity rather than aggression. Humanity wanted to be understood, not feared. The message was clear. Earth was strong, capable, and capable of defending itself, but it did not seek conquest. Diplomacy and intelligence were tools just as powerful as drones, energy shields, and autonomous starships. Scientists worked on refining communication protocols, ensuring that messages to alien civilizations were secure, precise, and free from misinterpretation. Engineers continued to improve defensive systems, making them more adaptable and intelligent. Strategists ran simulations of hypothetical encounters with advanced fleets, testing every possibility. The global effort was unprecedented, not only in scale, but in its unity and clarity of purpose. Humanity had learned that survival on a cosmic scale required not only preparation, but intelligence and cooperation. As the weeks passed, the alien fleets moved closer with caution. They observed Earth's coordinated systems, intelligence networks, and experimental technologies with growing respect. Humans did not act out of fear or arrogance, but with calculated precision. Every movement, every deployment, every communication was part of a larger pattern, a demonstration that Earth was ready, capable, and intelligent. The galaxy had begun to see humans not as primitive, but as clever, resourceful, and united. One particularly important revelation came when alien observers detected the energy shields. These shields were designed to protect not just cities, but entire regions of the planet and surrounding space. They could adapt to different forms of attack, absorb energy, and redirect it when necessary. While advanced civilizations could certainly understand the technology, what impressed them most was how humans had integrated these shields into a system that relied on intelligence, adaptability, and real-time decision-making. The shields were more than a tool. They were part of a strategy, a reflection of humanity's ingenuity. The demonstration was not limited to technology. Humans also revealed their strategic thinking. Alien observers could see how humans coordinated across vast distances, sharing information instantly through secure networks. They could see the way humans predicted possible threats, adapted to new information, and responded with calculated measures rather than rash actions. In doing so, humans showed that strength was not just in machines, but in the ability to think, adapt, and act together. At the same time, Earth's leaders emphasized diplomacy. Communications sent to the galaxy were calm, firm, and respectful. Humanity did not boast, threaten, or demand submission. Instead, humans made it clear that they sought understanding, cooperation, and respect for their planet's sovereignty. This combination of capability and diplomacy created a balance that the galaxy had not expected. Humans were strong, but not aggressive. Clever, but not arrogant. United, but not oppressive. As the demonstrations continued, alien factions began to acknowledge the new reality. Reports circulated through councils, ships, and networks. Earth is not primitive. Their technology, intelligence, and adaptability are far beyond what we predicted. They are not to be underestimated. These reports marked a turning point. The galaxy, which had long assumed dominance over a minor planet, now faced a species that was clever, united, and capable of influencing outcomes far beyond size or age. On Earth, ordinary people continued to live their lives. Workers, students, families, and communities remained largely unaware of the full scope of humanity's demonstration. Yet every functioning system, the power grids, transportation networks, communication systems, and scientific institutions supported the larger effort. The resilience of everyday life became part of the demonstration itself. Humans showed that strength lay not only in advanced technology, but in intelligence, adaptability, and the ability to work together toward a common goal. By the end of this phase, humanity had achieved more than simply demonstrating power. They had revealed a philosophy. Strength combined with intelligence, strategy, and diplomacy is far more effective than force alone. Alien observers now understood that Earth's capabilities were not limited to machinery. They extended to humans themselves. Their ingenuity, adaptability, and unity were perhaps the most formidable tools of all. The first steps of revelation had shifted the balance. Humans had shown that Earth was capable of defending itself intelligently, creatively, and decisively. The aliens had begun to reconsider assumptions, recognizing that humanity could not be dismissed or underestimated. The demonstration had also set a precedent. Earth would act strategically, predictively, and intelligently with a clear understanding. After the revelations of Earth's technologies and strategic capabilities, the galaxy began to reconsider its approach. Alien factions that had once ignored the planet or considered it insignificant now approached cautiously. Observers sent messages filled with curiosity and, in some cases, subtle respect. Humanity had demonstrated intelligence, adaptability, and restraint, and it was becoming clear that Earth was no ordinary world. Leaders and strategists across alien civilizations were beginning to realize that cooperation with humans might be wiser than confrontation. On Earth, the Global Council gathered to discuss the next steps. Humanity had shown its capabilities, but the challenge now was to translate that recognition into meaningful influence. Diplomacy became the focus. The Council decided to reach out to alien factions, not with demands or threats, but with clear, concise communication that emphasized respect, intelligence, and willingness to cooperate. The message was simple. Humans were capable and ready to defend their planet. But they sought dialogue and understanding rather than war. Scientists, linguists, and diplomats worked together to craft messages that could be understood clearly across species. They were careful to avoid any hint of aggression, while still conveying that Earth was strong and united. Every word was chosen deliberately, every phrase tested for clarity and impact. The goal was to ensure that alien civilizations recognized Earth's capabilities without misunderstanding human intent. The first diplomatic transmissions were received with cautious curiosity. Alien factions analyzed the messages, comparing them to the behaviors and actions humans had already demonstrated. They began to realize that Earth's strength was not just in technology, but in the unity, intelligence, and strategic thinking of its people. Humans had combined all these qualities to create a presence in the galaxy that demanded attention. Meanwhile, humans continued to maintain a careful balance between diplomacy and preparedness. Satellites monitored alien fleets, drones patrolled for observation, and energy shields were tested continuously. The demonstrations of capability had been non-aggressive, but humanity remained vigilant. Every action was calculated to reinforce credibility without provoking conflict. Humans understood that diplomacy without capability could be ignored, and capability without diplomacy could lead to war. Alien factions began sending envoys for virtual meetings. These meetings were cautious, formal, and filled with careful observation. Humans attended with calm confidence. Leaders, scientists, and diplomats from Earth presented their ideas, explained their technologies, and demonstrated strategic simulations. Every discussion emphasized intelligence, unity, and foresight rather than power or aggression. Humans were showing that they could be a reliable partner, as well as a capable defender of their world. The impact of these interactions was significant. Some alien factions, once wary or dismissive, began to see potential benefits in cooperation. They recognized that Earth's ability to adapt, innovate, and act strategically could complement their own strengths. Others remained cautious, but even their hesitation signaled that humans were no longer considered trivial. The galaxy's perception of Earth was changing rapidly, and humanity was beginning to influence interstellar affairs in ways it had never done before. Within the Global Council, discussions focused on opportunities for alliances and cooperation. Humanity did not seek domination, but it understood the value of strategic partnerships. Scientists proposed joint research projects, engineers suggested technology sharing, and diplomats outlined frameworks for mutual understanding and protection. Every idea was carefully measured to ensure it aligned with humanity's core principles: respect, intelligence, and independence. Alien responses continued to be cautious, but increasingly respectful. Messages conveyed interest in collaboration, questions about human technologies, and curiosity about Earth's decision-making processes. The galaxy, which had once viewed humans as insignificant, now saw them as intelligent, adaptable, and capable of contributing meaningfully to interstellar affairs. Humans had demonstrated that strength was not only about advanced technology or military might, it was also about strategy, unity, and the ability to communicate clearly and wisely. Humanity also understood the importance of patience. Relationships with alien civilizations could not be rushed. Trust had to be earned through consistent actions, clear communication, and demonstration of reliability. Earth's leaders emphasized any alliance must be based on mutual respect, shared goals, and ethical considerations. This approach strengthened humanity's credibility and reinforced the image of Earth as a responsible and capable participant in the galaxy. At the same time, humans continued to improve their technological systems. Drones became more intelligent, energy shields more adaptive, and AI-driven simulations more sophisticated. Scientists ran new models, predicting alien reactions, testing strategies, and refining communication protocols. Every advancement was designed to support both defense and diplomacy, ensuring that Earth could respond effectively to threats while maintaining trust and credibility among potential allies. The first alliances began to form cautiously. Alien factions that had previously been distant or indifferent now sought partnerships with Earth. They saw humans as intelligent, adaptable, and capable, but also as ethical and reliable. These alliances were not about dominance or submission. They were about collaboration, mutual learning, and preparation for the uncertainties of a vast and unpredictable galaxy. Humans approached each alliance with caution and intelligence, ensuring that agreements were fair and that Earth's independence remained intact. As these diplomatic efforts unfolded, ordinary humans continued their daily lives. People worked, learned, traveled, and socialized, unaware that their species was now shaping interstellar relationships. Yet every functioning society, every cooperative system, and every ordinary act contributed to humanity's credibility and strength. The resilience of daily life became a quiet but powerful demonstration of Earth's unity and adaptability. Alien observers began to document and study humanity more carefully. They noted the combination of intelligence, adaptability, and cooperation that defined human society. While humans had not sought recognition or power, the galaxy was now aware that Earth could not be ignored. Every diplomatic interaction, every careful demonstration of capability, reinforced the idea that humans were capable partners and formidable defenders of their home planet. Human leaders emphasized that cooperation did not mean compromise of values or independence. Alliances were approached thoughtfully, with attention to ethical standards, mutual respect, and strategic goals. Scientists, diplomats, and engineers collaborated to ensure that every agreement was carefully considered, avoiding potential misunderstandings or conflicts. This careful, deliberate approach reinforced humanity's credibility and demonstrated that intelligence and strategy could guide interstellar relations as effectively as technology could dot as weeks passed. Humans and alien factions continued to build relationships cautiously. Shared projects emerged, including joint scientific research, exploration initiatives, and mutual defense exercises. Humans demonstrated the ability to innovate, adapt, and coordinate on a scale unfamiliar to the galaxy. Alien civilizations began to learn from human strategies, creativity, and flexibility, recognizing that Earth had lessons to teach that went beyond technology alone. Throughout this process, humans remained grounded. Life on Earth continued normally, with children learning, families thriving, and societies functioning. Yet beneath this ordinary life, humans had shown extraordinary capability. The combination of diplomacy, technology, and unity created a presence in the galaxy that demanded respect. Humans were demonstrating that strength was more than power. It was intelligence, adaptability, cooperation, and the courage to act wisely. The effects of these interactions became clear. Alien factions that had once assumed dominance began to adjust their strategies. They recognized that humans were unpredictable, clever, and capable of influencing outcomes far beyond the planet's size or apparent strength. Messages circulated expressing both caution and admiration. Some factions sought collaboration, hoping to learn from humans' adaptability and strategy. Others maintained distance, recognizing that underestimating Earth would be unwise. On Earth, the Global Council reviewed these developments carefully. Leaders understood that diplomacy, intelligence, and preparation were as critical as technology. Every interaction, alliance, and demonstration reinforced humanity's position as a capable, ethical, and intelligent participant in interstellar affairs. Humans had transformed from a planet viewed as minor to a species recognized for its ingenuity, unity, and strategic thinking. Scientists continued to refine simulations. Engineers improved technological systems, and diplomats prepared for ongoing negotiations. Humans understood that the galaxy was vast and unpredictable, and that maintaining credibility, intelligence, and ethical standards was essential. Every measure, every action, every decision was carefully considered to protect Earth while fostering understanding and cooperation. By the end of this phase, humanity had achieved a remarkable balance. The planet had gained recognition, respect, and cautious trust in the galaxy. Alien civilizations understood that Earth was capable. With diplomacy, intelligence, and strategic demonstrations, Earth had earned a new place in the galaxy. Humans were no longer a species to be overlooked or underestimated. Alien civilizations now understood that Earth was united, adaptable, and capable of defending itself intelligently. The final stage of humanity's rise in galactic perception was not about conflict or conquest. It was about recognition, respect, and the ability to shape the galaxy's understanding of what it meant to be a strong, clever, and ethical species. The Global Council convened to discuss long-term strategies. Humans had shown capability, and the galaxy had taken notice. Now the goal was to ensure that Earth remained recognized, influential, and prepared. Leaders, scientists, engineers, and diplomats worked together to create a plan that combined preparation, diplomacy, technology, and education. The objective was clear. Earth would continue to grow. in influence while maintaining independence and ethical principles. Preparation remained a cornerstone. Satellites monitored space continuously. Drones patrolled beyond Earth's atmosphere, and energy shields were improved to cover wider areas. AI-driven simulations ran constantly, predicting potential scenarios and testing strategies against the most advanced alien technologies. Humanity had learned that vigilance and foresight were just as important as strength. Being prepared meant Earth could respond to threats with intelligence and precision, not panic or aggression. Meanwhile, humanity's diplomatic efforts deepened. Humans maintained open, careful communication with alien factions, offering opportunities for collaboration in science, exploration, and defense. The tone was always respectful, emphasizing cooperation rather than dominance. Alien civilizations responded positively, gradually establishing partnerships and alliances based on trust and mutual benefit. These alliances were unprecedented for Earth, but humans approached them cautiously, ensuring that every agreement preserved independence and ethical standards. Education and information sharing became key tools in shaping the galaxy's perception. Humans demonstrated how intelligence, creativity, and adaptability could solve complex problems. Scientific data, cultural knowledge, and technological insights were shared with allied civilizations, showing that humans were capable partners in research and innovation. The galaxy began to recognize that strength was not measured solely by firepower, but by intelligence, collaboration, and the ability to adapt to new challenges. The effect on alien observers was remarkable. They saw humans as more than a species of survivalists or warriors. They saw engineers, scientists, and strategists capable of remarkable foresight. Humans were unpredictable in the best sense. They could improvise, adapt, and find solutions where others saw obstacles. Alien fleets began to adjust their movements near Earth with caution, no longer treating the planet as a minor object in space. Even distant civilizations, hearing reports of human ingenuity, began to respect Earth's growing influence. Earth's technological advancements continued in parallel with diplomacy. Starships were enhanced for exploration and defense. Energy shields were refined to respond faster and more intelligently, and drones became more capable of independent problem-solving. Humans focused not only on military readiness, but on the ability to innovate and adapt. Technology, after all, was only powerful when combined with strategy, intelligence, and coordination. Humans had shown the galaxy that their ingenuity was as formidable as any weapon. The rise of humanity's influence also inspired unity on Earth. Nations that had once competed now collaborated closely. Resources were shared, strategies coordinated, and scientific research pooled for maximum impact. Ordinary life continued, but society had evolved in subtle ways. People understood that their everyday actions, keeping infrastructure running, participating in education, and contributing to scientific progress, supported the larger goal of protecting Earth and strengthening its position in the galaxy. Alien factions took note of this unity. They observed how humans managed complex systems, coordinated globally, and maintained social resilience even under extraordinary circumstances. They realized that strength was not only in technology or firepower, but in the ability of a species to work together, learn quickly, and act with foresight. Reports circulated among galactic councils describing Earth as an example of intelligence, creativity, and ethical strength. Some alien civilizations began to seek more formal cooperation. Humans were invited to participate in joint research projects, interstellar exploration missions, and strategic simulations designed to share knowledge and prepare for potential threats. Humans approached these opportunities thoughtfully. Every project, every collaboration was assessed for ethical impact, strategic benefit, and alignment with Earth's principles. The goal was to ensure that influence came from intelligence, collaboration, and foresight, not from coercion or fear. At the same time, humans continued to refine their defensive capabilities. Energy shields were upgraded with adaptive AI, capable of responding instantly to unexpected attacks or changes in energy patterns. Drones were enhanced for autonomous coordination across vast distances. Starships were improved for speed, maneuverability, and advanced communication. Every technological advancement was integrated into a comprehensive system designed to protect Earth intelligently and effectively. The combination of diplomacy, technology, and unity transformed Earth's position in the galaxy. Humans were no longer seen as minor players. Instead, they were recognized as capable, reliable, and innovative partners. Alien civilizations began consulting with Earth on strategies, research, and planning. Humans' ability to think creatively, adapt to unforeseen challenges, and act decisively earned them respect. Influence, the galaxy realized, could be wielded through intelligence, strategy, and collaboration just as effectively as through force. Humanity's rise also inspired confidence on Earth. Ordinary people, though largely unaware of the full scope of galactic interactions, contributed indirectly through everyday resilience. Engineers maintained infrastructure, scientists advanced knowledge, and citizens participated in systems that supported research and innovation. Education flourished, emphasizing creativity, problem-solving, and collaboration. The human species, united by necessity and intelligence, had built a society capable of extraordinary achievement while remaining grounded in everyday life. Alien civilizations adapted their strategies as well. They observed that humans did not rely solely on brute force or intimidation. Instead, humans used intelligence, adaptability, and foresight to influence outcomes. They were capable of defending themselves, collaborating effectively, and responding creatively to challenges. The galaxy began to recognize that underestimating Earth could be dangerous, and that cooperation offered more opportunities than confrontation. In diplomatic exchanges, humans emphasized ethics, cooperation, and shared goals. They demonstrated that intelligence could guide interactions just as effectively as technology. Alien civilizations began to trust Earth's judgment, relying on human input in joint projects, strategic discussions, and exploratory missions. Humans' ability to combine diplomacy, foresight, and capability created a unique position in galactic affairs. They were influential without being aggressive, respected without being domineering. As the months and years passed, humanity's influence continued to grow. Earth became a hub for collaborative research, interstellar communication, and strategic planning. Alien civilizations shared insights, technologies, and knowledge, while humans contributed ingenuity, adaptability, and coordination. The planet's reputation evolved from a minor world to a respected, capable, and influential member of the galactic community. Every step of this transformation was rooted in preparation, intelligence, and unity. Humans had demonstrated that capability alone was insufficient. To earn respect and influence, a species needed foresight, strategy, and ethical conduct. Earth had combined these qualities with technological advancement, creating a system that allowed humans to thrive, protect their planet, and shape the galaxy's perception. The impact of these efforts was profound. Alien civilizations now approached interactions with humans cautiously but respectfully. They recognized that Earth's people were capable of adapting to new challenges, thinking creatively, and acting decisively. Misjudging humans was no longer an option. The galaxy had learned that intelligence, coordination, and ethical foresight were as powerful as any weapon, and humans had demonstrated all three in abundance. On Earth, society continued to function normally. Families, schools, workplaces, and communities maintained everyday life, even as humans shaped interstellar events. Ordinary actions supported extraordinary outcomes. Maintaining infrastructure, advancing education, participating in research, and collaborating globally all contributed to Earth's strength and influence. The resilience of human society was itself a demonstration of capability and intelligence. By the end of this phase, humanity had achieved recognition, respect, and a permanent position in the galaxy. Alien civilizations understood that Earth was united, adaptable, intelligent, and capable of acting decisively. Humans had demonstrated that strength was not only measured by technology or force, but by intelligence, collaboration, ethical conduct, and the ability to respond creatively to challenges. Humans had emerged a